And now we're in bed with the Ishmaelites. Uyabona? So ukuthi bathi baletha ingcebo, unfortunately it's not gonna work. If sifuna baletha ingcebo, thina we must denounce being a Christian nation. We'll have to denounce our God. We'll have to. Lento ifana nokuthwala. Awukwazi ukuthi usindisiwe uthwale, mele udenounce lokhu ungene kulokho. Noma usungadlala ngathi ke uthi usasindisiwe kodwa mele udenounce ungene kwi-lineage entsha ye-blood covenant of the kingdom of darkness ukuze uthole leyo ngcebo. So nathi South Africa uma sithi si happy nabo Saudi Arabia besijoin kuzomela senze i-blood covenant ukuthi ke this thing of South Africa being a Christian nation governed by God siyayiphuma singena kwi-lineage entsha of the kingdom of darkness.
Sure.
So ayijabulisi.
Afethu sasekhona lapho make sure ukuthi awumuvi as in ithi siyophuza amanzi nawe lapho ke hamba uyophuza amanzi nginika nje few seconds bese uyabuya uzosijoina kunamanye ama questions are deep esobuya nawe stay tuned. Welcome back. Hope ukuthi lapho busisekile kuyonke lento ekhulunywa la nenqondo yakho iyacabanga iya kwenye dimension kuyonke lento esikhuluma la sihleli kanye no Prophet K okhona la eJozi ibandla lakhe la eJozi uzosinikeza ama details ngasekugcineni ukuthi ukuphi la khona but nje welcome back sesikhona la my sister siyaqhubeka nalento yethu isikhathi sethu vele sibe sincane kulento esikhuluma la it feels like few minutes ngempela kanti ngiyabona ukuthi komele siwenze olunye uhlelo siwenze part 2 of this because ayisi ukuthi kuningi okukhulumekayo la but ke maybe now you have your question, maybe you can drop your question khona lapha comment section singakhona uku-interacta sibone ukuthi sisezana kanjani ndlelani. There's a question that I have here, my sister.
Yes.
What is the political and spiritual interplay in South Africa?
That's once again a very important question.
Yeah.
Ngizwe sometimes besidinwe abaphathi be country manje ngingasho nje phecelezi siyabazi yellow and green color.
Yes.
Sithi haya sayifuna ANC noma sifunani
Yes.
noma sabafuni laba and we don't realize ukuthi abaziphethe nabo baphethwe.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
nabo baphethwe. South Africa once did this series enkonzweni and I was like, Lord, you'll have to protect me because the Lord just wanted to expose what was the spiritual interplay in South African politics. Angeke ngichaze kanje, South African politics can largely be categorized into 3 spheres again. We have the judiciary, we have the legislature, we have the executive. Bekuthiwa nje khulunywa nge-government yase South Africa.
Yeah.
I-judiciary, i-legislative or legislature, ne-executive. I-executive angiqale ngayo, it's the president nama-minister akhe, i-cabinet yakhe. Leo siyayazi, their seat is in Pretoria. Their seat is in Pretoria. Then we have the judiciary. Lawo ama inkantolo is the courts of law.
Yes.
Their main seat, I believe, is still in Bloemfontein. I may be wrong.
Yeah.
Then lastly, we have the legislature. Legislature, the seat is in Parliament in Cape Town.
Okay.
So you will notice in Cape Town, the high homosexuality rate is in Cape Town. High abortion rate is in Cape Town. All these things that are diabolical and anti-biblical or ungodly are all in Cape Town. Coincidentally, where there is the legislature, lessons umthetho in South Africa. And I use the word coincidence because there's no such word as coincidence in the Bible. It's not a coincidence.
Okay.
Yonke imithetho ephaswayo in South Africa, including the constitution, umthetho othi you're a man, if you love another man, you can get married. You want to abort a young soul, a child in your belly, you can do it. Konke kwenziwe South Africa, Cape Town. Yes, that's where our legislature is. Now, umbuzo wakhe is, what is the spiritual play between angike ngisebenzise legislature nje lesenza khona imithetho South Africa nakwamoya? In Parliament, there's something called the Lodge de Corp, or a Freemasonry temple in Parliament. That temple was erected around the 1800s, around the late 1700s. Then it was inaugurated in the 1800s. Now, this is free information. You can Google as I'm speaking. In a Freemasonry temple in Parliament. Even today, it's still there. It's still functioning. And most of the cabinets, most of the members of Parliament, not cabinets, but the MPs are part of that Freemasonry temple. So you can Google, it's in there. They make light of it. It's the most normal thing. And it's the most diabolical thing.
Wasn't aware of this.
Pardon?
I wasn't aware of it.
Yes, not many people are aware of it, but it's freely available, that knowledge. So there's a Freemasonry temple in Parliament, in our legislature. Now you may ask yourself, yeah, but a Freemason is just guys who have a secret society and they talk about business. It's a cult. They worship a god called Jabulon. 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 Kono H somewhere sengkhohliwe lapha. Jabulon. And if you look at Jabulon, it comes from Baal. Okay. Baal, the Baal of First Kings. Usakhumbula when isizwe saNkulunkulu started following Baal in 1 Kings chapter 18, and God sent Elijah to rain fire from heaven and kill the prophets of Baal. It's that same Baal in our parliament, in our legislature. So it's not because our members of parliament are standing and hence they say they can be aborted. There's a Jabulon in parliament telling them, uzokwenza umthetho obulala ingane. It's not that those guys in the green and yellow are so mean. They want men to marry men and they don't care about what God says. There's a master there in the Freemasonry temple that is saying this is the law you pass. So that is and we share lapho for now and allow you to ask other questions, but that is the political, spiritual landscape. Let's keep a umthetho. Let's keep imthetho in South Africa. There's a Freemasonry temple inside Parliament. Sure. Research it. It's just there. You don't even have to research much. Say Freemason temple in Parliament. Google it, and you'll find it. Where we issue our, imthetho yethu. So you now see that it's not that this government, mhlampe, is better than this one, or if this one could come in. There's a temple, and there's a spirit deity that controls the legislative landscape of our country. Ngisakhuluma nje nge-legislative, angakakhulumi ngisho nangokunye.
Akhona nama-sacrifices awenziwayo for
absolutely. If you study the god, the spirit deity called Jabulon, usacrifice ngama-babies. That's why abortion has been legalized. There's blood covenants. You can't join a Freemasonry cahoots unless there's a blood sacrifice. This is all free knowledge, free information that is out there. But as believers, funa ukudansa ithomoya.
Only.
Sidansa ithomoya sisho ngelimi on Sundays, kube mnandi, kube nje, how are you? I'm blessed and highly favored. But you don't know that in Parliament, there's another God ruling. We are not keeping imithetho South Africa. So is South Africa a Christian nation? I don't know anymore.
So in that case, thina as believers, iyiphi role emele siyenze in order to turn things around all this?
We need to do it like Daniel. Daniel bebona ukuthi kunenkinga eBabylon, and abantu being the Israelites, the chosen people of God, ababethunjiwe at that time, but oppressed. Akayanga to King Cyrus, the earthly king at that time, amach. Akabhalanga amabhodi wamaphambi kwepalace ukuthi akehla uCyrus, mubu uCyrus. Wavala iplate walibeka eceleni waguqa ngedola.
Sure.
Wathi ngidinga lo Cyrus osemazulwini aqalawe ngoba yena bengawanga lo la ngeke azawe. Darius bonke labo Nebuchadnezzar, all that successor of demonic kings. Bonke bekhona inkosi ebacontrolayo lapha kwamoya. uDaniel akazange ke nje abhadarishe ukuphikitha benza imarch to the palace bayokwehlisa inkosi uCyrus uyajoka. He kneeled down, he fasted, and he said, Nkosi esezulwini akehle manje uCyrus dinga ukuphuma. And God answered him. How do we know? It's because it's by the Emperor Cyrus owabakhipha wathi ngikhipha a few elders abahambe bayokwakha iJerusalem. uNkulunkulu wamphendula ngokushintsha inhliziyo of this earthly Cyrus ngoba wakhuleka. Akamachanga akazamanga ukushintsha wathi hayi angisamthandi i-political party yaCyrus sengicela ukukhipha enye ngoba le ingcono le ayikho ngcono wabeka iplate eceleni waguqa ngedolo and said God something has to give and the Lord responded.